अस्सलाम व्यूवर्स डॉक्टर एजाज कुरैशी टोरंटो कनाडा से आपकी खिदमत में हाजिर है आज का द डे ड्रीमर शो लेकर today's topic is communication and public speaking, optimism in youth, especially in the youth of Hyderabad Sindh. We have our esteemed guest today with us. His name is Eijaz Qureshi. He's the lecturer private for English, and he's master trainer of Association of Academic Quality. He is communication and language trainer as well, and he hosts events. And he is host coordinator and events coordinator at the youth, and he's also a youth activist from Hyderabad, Sindh, Pakistan. So we welcome our guest. We bring him to the live. Ji Parvez bhai, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum, sir.
How are you today?
I'm very good, sir, and very much excited and very much happy to actually have connection with you today. It's been really the time that I have been waiting for a long. So today the day has now come. So I like to say a big thank to you and all my regards for having me on your show. So that is like a great thing to have me on a show. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. ये Aima Khan is saying कहाँ से हैं sir? He is from Hyderabad, Sindh, Pakistan. Parvez Saab is from Hyderabad, Sindh. So we're going to talk about the communication and public speaking and how you should do it and optimism in the youth. And the gentleman's name is Parvez Qureshi. Great person. Thank you so much. Dr. Farah is saying good show. Thank you so much, Dr. Farah. I think this is the need of the time that we need to talk about all these things, especially the optimism in the youth is really important. Why the youth should be optimistic. So, Mr. Parvez Qureshi, thank you so much once again. Would you like to give a little introduction about yourself? I gave a little introduction, but there's much more to tell about yourself. So why don't you tell our viewers about yourself?
Yes. Sir, as you have mentioned my name and a bit of my introduction, myself is Parvez Qureshi, and I am from Hyderabad, Pakistan. And I'm associated with the education. I'm a lecturer in private sector. I'm also a trainer and a host and a public speaker and event coordinator. Besides being, I am also a youth activist. I've always been very much fascinated to do something for the youth, especially for my city and for the youth across my city. So that is my inspiration to do something for the people, being in education and being in the social circle. So
awesome. Great, that's great. So why do you think the communication is important?
Sir, communication is like, what I think is the most important thing from any walk of life that you come from, whether from the business management, education, and politician, media, and journalism. Everywhere you need communication. And sometimes what we do, we study different things, we study different subjects, we study different courses, and to prepare, we take a lot of time, but we never think that we how to communicate properly. We pay, we give a great time to do different things, but we don't pay attention towards our communication skills. What I believe communication skill is an art, and we need to learn that art. That is most important thing.
Great, that's good. So we'll continue with our topic, but I do include the comments coming in from our viewers as well at the same time. So Muhammad Osama is a friend of mine, is a great person, social entrepreneur, and much more. He is asking how to listen well. People have hard time with listening. Sometimes it becomes just one way kind of communication. They are throwing their stuff on public and not really listening well. So how they can improve the listening capabilities or abilities?
So listening ability from the communication point of view is, I think, most important thing. In communication, it is said like you have to listen more than what you speak, and you have to listen people carefully, attentively, and patiently. And it's something like, it makes it sure that by listening you clear the idea and you can convince the people properly. Until and unless you listen to people patiently, properly, attentively, you cannot even convey your message. You cannot make somebody understand. Listening is very important, and it is said like a listener is always a good speaker also. So when you listen carefully, when you listen attentively, then definitely you will be able to answer properly or accurately. Listening is very much important.
Great.
So
So, what happens sometimes when we go to meetings and things like that, and people are really communicating? This is what I do. Okay, I'll share my life, real life experience. So I know it is hard at times when you are somewhere where somebody is delivering something and telling you, be it the business requirements, be it talking on a topic. Sometimes the speaker involves the attendees or listeners or viewers, right? Like we are doing here, the people are involved, people are commenting, and we bring their comments in and responding to them. So, but the speakers who do not interact with the audience directly in a way, because the format of the show doesn't allow them, or format of the presentation or symposium or seminar, what have you, doesn't allow, then what you do is you try to take notes. All right, that will make you, it will divert your attention from going dead in the mind, then really getting something out of the lecture. So what I did was I had a pen and paper. Most of the time, these facilities are provided. These things are
yeah,
provided.
so the time,
I took
like,
notes. I just wrote down. That gave me the opportunity to write down some questions as well, right?
exactly.
So when the time comes, when it's a Q&A, I raised my questions. Okay. So that was the seminar thing. But again, in one-on-one meeting or many to one meeting, if it is an interactive session, then what I did was I paraphrased. So whatever, for example, Mr. Pervez, you said, I kind of re-said, did I hear this? You say this, and then they would come back with the response. So I think these things, these practices, will help improve the listening part of it. So
Exactly.
I'm not sure if there is anything else you can tell on this.
Hmm.
Okay, good. So Waleed Ahmed Khan is saying, some friends are saying, very nice comments. So thank you so much, viewers. Zubair, Ishtaq Ali is saying, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam. Zubair Ahmed saying, good. Thank you so much, Zubair bhai. Waleed Ahmed Khan is our regular viewer. He's asking or commenting. Another issue is most people don't read books, and even if they do, they don't really know how to apply all the knowledge they get. Absolutely, this is right. People should really read the book and then again extract. Like write a summary, write a small paragraph. What is your take on how to better read books, Parvez?
So first of all, what I say, like, reading habit is one of the finest habits. It's very constructive and very useful habit. And nowadays, like, what we have seen in the recent years, that reading habit is almost getting end. People are not into reading; they are into some other things, some technology, like reading things on the social pages and something. So reading is something what I say. A reader is always a good speaker. A reader is always a good writer. A listener is always a good speaker, and reader is always a good writer also. So reading habit is very important. And first of all, what you do is something that attracts you the most, something that interests you the most. We should take those things according to our interest. something that somebody is interested in sports, somebody is interested in showbiz, somebody is interested in politics. So there has to be a choice for the reading, and later on we can improve it. So first, we have to be clear that what we have to read, and what is our interest, because interest is something that builds even more interest in you. So reading, if it goes with your interest, then definitely you will enjoy reading. And reading enhances your knowledge, reading enhances your ideas, reading constructs your mind, and it's something like it trains your brain. If you do not read, then definitely I think you are somebody, a handicapped person. You can only speak, you cannot go with strong ideas, you cannot implement your ideas properly. So reading is very important thing, and we should improve, and we should promote some things that relates with the reading. And
Good.
one thing that I, apart from reading and that, I just like to say regarding communication, there is a misconception, like people think that communication means only English. Communication does not mean only English. Communication is an art. In any language that you speak, that has to go with art. Art of communication is different, and language is different. You can have that art in any language. You can be a very good communicator in Urdu. You can be a very good communicator in Arabic, in English as well. But people think like speaking good English is something that makes it show that you are a very good communicator, and you are expert in communication. So communication is an art that we can learn through different
Good.
practices.
Good. 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 That's good. So, as you said, Waleed Ahmed Khan is saying the reader is always a good writer and the listener is always a good speaker. He's saying it's a good one. I would add a little word to that, and I would say a good listener will be a good speaker, and a good reader will be a good writer. So
Exactly.
that's it.
Yeah.
So thank you
Yeah.
so
That
much
is
for that. So let's come to our next segment, which is the public speaking. So why do you think the public speaking is really necessary? What brings the public speaking into you?
so. What public speaking has actually brought in me, most importantly, that is actually removed my fear. Public speaking is something that gives you strength, that gives you confidence, and it's something through which you can exhibit yourself. You can showcase yourself before the people. And I have seen, like, most of the people, most of the young students, they are very much talented, but they cannot speak before the people. And public speaking is something that you need to speak before the people. If you cannot speak before the people, then any ability, any knowledge that you have is almost useless. You cannot present your idea before the people. You have some fear, you have some stage fear, you have some different vogue fear, you cannot face the people, then definitely you cannot do anything. So public speaking is something that that restore your confidence, and that gives a new personality in you, that develops a new personality in you. It's something have a new birth in you. Those people who are now learning actually the skills and skills of public speaking, they have changed themselves drastically.
Great. Our sister Khan is saying that she thinks that it's also a God-gifted thing. What do you think about it?
But skills, I'm talking about a skill.
Soft
This
skill,
this is a skill, and a skill is something that we can
develop.
improve, we can polish.
That's right. That's right.
So different people have different abilities.
Yeah. That's right. So some
If
people are God gifted, as you said.
if I even talk about something like uh, voice quality, like voice tonality, okay, being proactive, and voice management, okay, you have the voice quality. If you have a good voice, then that is your talent that you are born with. But voice management, that is your training, and you have to train your voice. And for the training your voice, you have to go through different process and different different things to polish your skill. And so that is very important, like.
That's great. We have another question coming in from Walid. Ahmad Khan is asking, how do you practice your flow? So, I mean, it has to be in a flow, right? And a delivery, vocabulary, and a stage presence. How do you maintain all that or practice?
So the most important thing is something you have to be clear with your idea. The content that you have to be clear with that. If you see, as I said earlier, people, they focus more over their content, and content or the words, according to the researches, according to the Harvard researches, words and the content is just only your 7%. The rest of 38% and 55% goes with your presentation. The presentation that goes with your body language, your expression, your voice management, the way you project yourself, that is even more important.
Yeah,
What people do, they spend more time on the content management, on the content preparation, but they don't prepare how to deliver it. They do something uh, which goes with the content management and content arrangement, but they don't focus how to deliver it. And what I teach my students, what I give a message, that you need to focus, or you need to give even more time how to deliver it. Delivery is more important. People look at your delivery when you are in public speaking, when you are a presenter, or anywhere that you are getting along with the people. So they look at your presentability, your personality, your presentation. So we need to be focused on practices, and we need to get ourselves trained how to present ourselves, how to present it.
great. Awesome. So that's good. Um, Sufyan Sheikh is saying chosen words is important in communication. So that's true. Somebody asked something. Yeah, Sufyan Sheikh said, "What would you like to tell about election, Mr. Pervez?" We do not talk politics or elections or religious things or controversial issues in this show. This is purely motivational, inspirational show. I do politics shows with politicians, but not today. Today's topic is all about motivation and inspiration. So let's talk about. So we talked about public speaking and the art of being on the stage, or public speaking could be, in different forms, right? It could be on the radio, it could be on television, it could be on Facebook Live, it could be on YouTube, Instagram, or it could be on a stage in conferences, seminars, meetings, or wherever you're presenting yourself. One thing that is really important to understand or learn is the gestures. Would you like
Yes.
to talk about some
Sir,
gestures when on the stage, when in front of the camera or in front of people? What gestures people should adopt?
Sir, when we talk about that relates with the gestures, postures, body language, these are even more effective than your words or something that you speak. In the communication, it is said your body language plays even major role than something that you speak. uh, Body language, your gestures. If if you showcase, if you exhibit positive gestures, positive body language, positive postures, then you are going to increase your acceptability. That you're going to present yourself even decently. You can even put a lasting impression. Your gestures, play a very important role. How to, and gesture is something that goes with your body, with your facial expressions, with your hand movement, and it is mostly like the presentation of the upper part of your body, and how to help your words, how to help your expressions to make it even more clearer to your listeners, and
Great.
it helps definitely. For
So we
example,
talked
there
about it.
we can see.
What are the common gestures? Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Pervez. What are the common gestures that you would suggest to be used, and what would be the gestures that you should be avoiding when you're on the stage?
For example, when you are making your stage presence, then one thing that you have to be pleasant. Your face, it has to look pleasant, and you should give a soft smile. You should have a soft smile on your face. You should not make people think that you are having some arrogance, or you are somebody like somebody more than these people. And then it goes with your different topic and different things, and you must not showcase some negative gestures and something. For example, putting your body loose and showing your standing inactively. You have to stand actively. And if you are presenting yourself at a rostrum, then you have to be active, and you have to be positive. And there are different things like passing a smile, okay, and showing some kind of your body language, okay. And because it's something, it makes your audience feel live, that you are live, you are alive. And you can even what I say, being a teacher, one thing I learned, if I say something about a teacher or a presenter, it is something, I would say three words: chalk, walk, and talk.
Good.
If
Chalk,
you
walk,
are
and talk.
Yes, if you are presenting something, being a presenter on a stage, then definitely you need to write something, you need to present something, okay? Then you need to walk. Walk, okay? Walk is something that is a positive gesture. You can go to your audience, you can shake hand with your audience, you can you can take your audience in confidence with these your physical movement. And talk definitely is something. Talk means to have a knowledge, to have required knowledge on the topic. So
Awesome.
this is something, if I say.
Great. Chalk, walk, and talk.
Chalk,
So
walk,
write
and talk.
something, keep walking. Don't be like
Yeah.
a
Inactive, lazy,
flag
stand still.
post or something like you're sticking to one face. Just walk around. That's a good one. I like that. Chalk, walk, and talk. And every word ends with an L and K. So that's great.
Yes.
Awesome. I would definitely remember that. Um,
Thank you.
Sometimes, in our culture, what we are taught that we should not look into the eyes. That's something that we don't do. We try to avoid. Try to look here, we try to look
Exactly.
there, or we try to look down. Now, internationally, if we communicate, all these gestures, they have different meanings, right?
Exactly.
If you're
Right.
looking somewhere else and talking to someone, that means that you're avoiding, right? If you're looking down, that means that you're not confident about your topic that you're discussing. Okay, each side's left has a different meaning looking, and then right has a different meaning when you're looking at different sides. So always look into the eyes of the audience when you're talking. If you're presenting online, you should look in the camera. Now I do look at other places as well because I have to run the show. I
No,
have to bring
you're from
comments in, but
like
again,
you
if
are very
I'm doing
you have a different way. I really like
exactly.
your way.
Exactly. So you have to engage the audience so that they feel your presence and their presence as well. It is all important. It's not one way. Always remember, it's both sides. You have to engage everyone. And the other thing is that if there are like 500 people sitting and you're speaking to them, you don't have to look in one direction. What happens sometimes unconsciously, what we do is we establish a communication with one person. And I have noticed that in many times. And I'm very observant about that. And I try to, divert people when they're talking just to test them that how strong as a speaker they are. So I establish the eye contact, right? Direct eye contact with the speaker,
Yes.
and so what happens, that establishes behind the scene that this guy is listening to me. He's very attentive to me. So what happens that the speaker is always looking at me and talking to me and leaving 500 people behind and not interacting with them. So this is bad practice. Very, very bad practice. Always look at everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just glance here and there and here and there. You don't have to look at one person all the time. So that's another thing.
I one person. Exactly. You're very right. You're very right. You have
Okay.
a very strong observation.
That's right.
That's really very practical observation.
Thank you. Thank
Great,
you.
sir. Great.
Thank you. And Sufyan, you mentioned chalk and walk, but you did not mention the talk. I think this is really important. So you have to talk, you have to walk, but you have to talk too. So just talking and walking doesn't help at all.
Very true.
All right. Validam Khan is saying, Sufyan, avoid him right away. Only have positive friends. Yeah. Well, I don't know what was the comment, but it's okay. So coming back to the youth of um Hyderabad and optimism, in the youth. Let's define what is optimism.
So optimism, what I think is something a hope of achieving something new, hope of being being very positive. You know. So nowadays, what we see that we have a despondency, we have dejection, we have disappointment in our youth. So that is not good. That is not like favorable for our youth. So there has to be optimism. You know, when I look at our youth, especially the youth, then they have been like they have been struggling. They work very much. They struggle a lot. They work very hard. Still, at the end of the day, they are not happy. They are dejected. They are disappointed. So this is something that why we have this pessimism. There has to be optimism, but we lack optimism, and there is so much pessimism. And there are different, like the reasons. There are different things behind that why we have more pessimism than the optimism. But there has to be optimism, and something that actually myself I've been a youth activist, and I do things for the youth, training sessions, seminars, workshops, and I'm associated with different organizations, and we have different things for the betterment of youth, because I want to remove that a bit of disappointment from my youth. So what we need is the direction. Our youth needs a direction. We don't have a positive pathway. We don't have a positive direction. Our youth is diverted into different things, into even different negative things. So there has to be optimism. There has to be a hope. But we are getting hopeless. There is no hope. Our youth does not see any hope. So we have to make it sure that we have to make them see a hope. There has to be a hope.
That's
So
right.
that is, I think,
Yeah. So there was a comment by Sufyan Sheikh, and he said, "Could you tell how to ignore that person who indulge in bad activity, and that person is your best friend?" And I'll come back to that. But somebody, sorry, yeah, Waleed Ahmed Khan said, "Sufyan, avoid him right away. Only have positive friends." So I would actually disagree with Waleed because friend means friend. Okay.
hmm,
There is no good friend or bad friend. Okay. It's us
well,
who make the good friend or the bad friend. Okay. So if somebody is bad, okay, and you notice that he's bad, as a friend, if you are a true friend, it's my responsibility to really go out and tell him that, my friend, I have noticed this. If I was
well,
you, I would do this. Okay, give
this is
him
the
a hope. Tell him the right thing, that if you were him, okay, if I was him, I would tell him that, okay, if I was you, I would do this. Okay, and try to help that person out to come out of that situation. It's just a phase. It's just a phase of life. We do not know what he went through or she went through. Okay, we don't know their condition. So just we have to be out there for them and show our friendship, not just ignoring. Ignorance is the bad thing that we can do to ourselves. Okay,
yes.
but yeah, how many people are you going to ignore? You will be left alone just by yourself. That is terrible. So we have to get out and really help our friends out. The best friend is who always helps out. So that's my point of view on
Well
that.
said. Well said.
What would you say?
I strongly agree with your answer, and even I like to forward your answer to Sufyan Sheikh. What the question he has asked, I think you have accurately spoke everything. You have, like, I think, have given a better answer, I think. And I would just like to second you that the question was put by Sufyan, that if somebody has, something bad, some kind of negative element in him or in her, then definitely, if we know that, then we need to counsel him, we need to rectify, and patiently, we have to be patient, as you said, like, if we are not going to be patient, and if we are not going to ignore it, then we will be left alone. So it's not something that, we should be left alone. So if you consider somebody that he or she is your friend, then definitely care him, counsel him, and understand him. So understanding is the best solution, compromising is the best solution, ignoring is the best solution,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
having patience.
yeah. Be patient. That's important. Okay. So I think our show is coming to the end, and we really had good discussion. I think good comments came in, and people have really enjoyed. So
Yes.
thank you so much. Sarita is our great friend here. I met her at an event recently here in Toronto. She's such an awesome soul. She is a cancer survivor. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm also a survivor of a liver transplant, and I'm still recovering. She's such a
We
wonderful soul. She's a great singer also. She's saying
uh,
appreciate your
pray
response
for her.
because no one is perfect and all human makes mistake. Absolutely, we all do, including myself. We all make mistakes, and we are created by mistake, right?
Exactly.
Adam and Eve did a mistake, and that's why we were created. They were told not to go near to that tree, and they went, and that's how we got created. So we all make mistakes. But again, the important aspect of making mistake is that we should realize what we have done or what we are doing and what is the impact of what we do. That is the important thing. We all make mistakes. Nobody is free of mistakes. So let's take an oath to ourselves that if we make mistake, we try to realize and correct it immediately. That is something. really important for us to really correct the mistake. And then that's it. Let's move on. Let's not sit on it and just be sorry forever. Let's find ways to fix the mistake and move on. All right. Thank you.
So
All
before
right.
you and I say something before we wrap up the show, uh, I definitely like to thank you for having me on this great show. It's been wonderful. It's been so lively and very interesting. It was great, and I really enjoyed the show. And I'm really much thankful for you. This is something like a great effort that you have done for me, and this is something I did this conversation, this show, not particularly for me. I like to dedicate this show to all my friends,
So, viewers, I guess we are having some network issues towards the end of the show.
now.
Uh, Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
there was some network issues, I guess. So now we can hear you. So thank you so much. What you were saying. Would you like to continue?
Yes, sir. I was saying like it's been wonderful to be on your show. It's been great, and I'm really much thankful to you for all your cooperation, for the patience, and you have been available for me in the nighttime, in the daytime. Continuously talking and continuously, just guiding me. So that was wonderful. I'm really much thankful for you. And one thing I like to pay thanks to all my friends who have now just commented. They have taken interest in the show, and they have given their feedback through their comments. Few people like Walid, Sufyan Sheikh has asked different questions, so I'm very much thankful to him. And I like to give one message to the youth is that the things are possible, the things are not impossible. It is naturally proven that things are not impossible. What we need to have unflinching faith. If we have faith in ourselves, and where the faith comes from having connectivity with Allah Almighty. If we have a connectivity, if we are soulfully connected with Allah, then definitely we will restore our faith, we will increase and enhance our faith, and then anything that we will plan, we will dream or dare, definitely that will be possible for us. So go for the direction. If you have a certain talent, if you have certain abilities, so go for the people like you who are actually exploring the people and who want to help people, who want to make people, put in front of the people, and they should they should go to the people who can guide them well and who can counsel them, because everybody has a talent, but we need a direction, we need a pathway. And lastly, I just like to be thankful to Allah Almighty and my mother. She has been always great and loving to me, and I really have no words for her. So thanks, special thanks to my mother and to you also. And I am definitely looking forward once again to be on your show. If some other time uh, there was an opportunity, I would like to be on your show again with some even more things and more knowledge.
Definitely, we'll do that again. And please extend my regards and salams to your mother. And I'm
Thank you.
really grateful to her that she has trained you to be such a wonderful person. I really enjoy talking to you. Normally, I ask my friends, guests on the show to give a final message, but you have already, because you're part of the media, so you already have given the message to our youth. And I hope the youth takes these things and apply them in their lives, and they will be very successful. So I really enjoy talking to you. So thank you so much once again.
Same here, sir. Same here, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our viewers, please comment and let us know how we did on this show. Please comment. Friends who were not able to watch this live will be watching offline. But please do let us know. We always wait for your comments and your suggestions, how we can improve our show and make it better. Any specific topics you want to hear from us, please do let me know. Any specific guests you want, I always say, please do let me know and we'll try to bring them on our show. If you want to be on the show, please inbox me and tell me why you want to be on my show. And then we will think about that. But thank you so much for tuning in. Take care and stay blessed. Take care.